Let's do this. It's gonna be so hard. Okay, let's see. Is it live? It's not live yet. No, not yet. Not live. All right. Hello. Are we live? I think we are. Let's refresh. Yes, we are live. Awesome. This is great. Okay, everyone. Today we're going to be going over news. And yeah, there's a lot to do. And I'm sorry again about this being late. Late. This is the last day of the month. I mean, I feel so sad because last time I said that I was going to try to do it, not the last day of the month, but unfortunately, yeah, I mean, last time, I've been kind of busy and we went on spring break and it's just been like one thing after the other. But yeah, I mean, it's just been one thing after the other, honestly. Then I started a new job. I mean, so many things. So, but we're here. And if you have any questions, make sure to put them in the comments below. And I'll be, pulling them up. So, as always, there'll be enough time to go over the questions and kind of like get over the information and try to see things. Today I have a new device. It's actually not even ready yet. It's on pre-order, so I'm showing you kind of a preview for you to see that it's actually pretty good. And it has a lot of really nice features. I still not gonna make a review, and I'll be limited in showing it today, just for the fact that I kind of had to wait to test a lot of more things. I just got it 2 days ago or so, maybe 3, and it's been a good experience so far. But there's a few things that need to get fixed. This device, by the way, is the Mindphone Phone 2 Pro. And this one is currently on pre-order, and probably is going to be expected to ship at the end of next month or at the beginning of May. So yeah, and yeah, again, sorry, I've been trying to make this live stream a little earlier in the month, but I guess it gives us more news to go over. I have a few things that we'll go over. Let's see. Yeah, this is the Mindful Pro. I think that's a little large here. Let me see if I can adjust that. Give me a sec. Oh no, that's not the one. Okay, let's see. Boom. There it is. That's the one I need. Yes, that's better. Okay, cool. There you go. Now we're talking. Cool. Awesome. Let's expand it just a little bit. All right. There you go. Now we're talking. Okay, perfect. Maybe I'll go a little bit like that. It'll look better. Yes, perfect. That's great. Okay, awesome. So this is the Mindful 2. It is a 4.1 touch display device. Has a Helios G99 from MediaTek. And that's actually pretty good. It has NFC, it has Bluetooth, Android Auto, a lot of like convenience things, but it does not have access to any extra applications that are kind of like distracting. So I'm really excited about this device. It's been refined a lot since the first version. I mean, the first version was a little rougher, and this one is definitely a lot better for the price and for the feature set, right? So it has RCS for those of you who care about that. It also has a pretty nice camera here in the back. It's very premium. It feels very nice in the hand, by the way. So I've really enjoyed using it for the last few days. Here it is. So it has that kind of like premium feel. It's aluminum on the sides, like that metallic feel, right? And it feels really good, and the software is quite snappy as well. You kind of go through it, you send whatever it is that you need to send, You go over kind of like the App Store. The music app is still not working. This one is, but everything opens pretty fast. Of course, I wish that there would have been a D-pad. That's just my personal preference, but unfortunately, there's not. But there's enough screen real estate to kind of like go around and use the device as you'd like to use it. They also have like a little app store, and you're able to kind of like download extra apps or not if you don't want to. They have music and Waze, and I think, yes, there it is, Google Maps. They created kind of like their own thing. They have TT9, the full version. I still haven't been able to download it. That's one of the issues that I've been having. But I'll be testing this device fully and kind of putting it through the paces to see if it's a great recommendation. But so far, so good. Call quality, very clear. Having all of these things, having the very nice finish in the back. I really like it. And it's pretty compact. Actually, I think it's probably roughly around the size of a Chin F21. So if you have used that device in the past or you have one, then you kind of know what I'm talking about. Very good. So very, very good device. Really excited to see how it all pans out. I forgot. Man, I'm forgetting a lot of stuff. Let's go to the chapters to make sure that people have enough information for what they're going to look for people that are not watching right now. So I'll probably start at about 2 minutes. Mindphone 2 Pro. Yeah. So super excited about this device. Let's see. Next in the docket is this one, the Keyphone. So the Keyphone has been getting a lot of updates, and I'm actually happy to see that they have done a lot of they do a lot of like little improvement, like quality of life improvements. They actually added the change log, which is something that I requested before, and I'm really glad that they listened, because I didn't know what changed, before. So I'm really glad that this is happening. So yeah, I'll get to those questions. Those are good questions. I think that's a good one. So Keyphone. Let's see. We started this at 7 minutes. Yes, roughly. So I like that they have created a kind of like the keyboard device, right? Back again. But these small quality of life improvements are definitely really helpful. I really enjoyed having them. Let's see if I can open this up for the... Okay, yes. Let me go to the brightness. Display brightness. Yeah, to make sure that it showcases. Okay. There you go. 100%. Cool. All right, so let's go back here. Right here. So this is the Keyphone, and pretty snappy. I mean, it has always been snappy performance, so it's really nice. But now on the Messages app, whenever you are composing a text, before we did not have this ability, but now we do, which is if you press this microphone button right here, now you have the ability to do voice to text without any issues. And it's actually pretty accurate. As you see right there, it is rendering pretty accurate without many issues. And yeah, I've liked that small quality of life improvement. Still typing. Yeah, there you go. So, if you want to type something and maybe you have the QWERTY keyboard, which I have talked about plenty, that the keys are a little bit crammed in my opinion, right? You can now use the different input. So that is perfect. Oh, and they also added the emoji. So if you want to add symbols this was such a needed thing, because I have a password for my Wi-Fi, and it's like, I created it with like a password manager and that kind of stuff, and it put symbols that are not here on the regular keyboard, and it was a pain for me to actually figure it out. I actually had to transfer. This is what I had to do. I had to transfer a text file into the phone, copy the text file, and then input it into my settings to actually get it connected to Wi-Fi. But with this new symbol feature, they have allowed now to create or pull up all of the symbols and also the emoji. As you see right there, you can select them, and it's pretty easy to navigate, as you see with the D-pad. So pretty nice. I really like that, right? So that's really good. Quality of life, small things. And the changelog. I mean, having a changelog to know what changed. Here are the latest updates. One happened on the 23rd of this month. Another one happened on the 31st of this month. So as you see, it's pretty up to date. Let me see if I can improve the... yeah, it's just a little blurry. Sorry about that. It's just tiny, right? Maybe I can punch in a little bit. Nope, too much. There you go. Okay, maybe you can read it, maybe you can't. I'll go back so you can see the full device. But it says what's new, introducing the Key Hub, feedback improvements, advanced T9 support if you have the T9 version, world clock, voice recorder, redesigned footers, new in settings, app manager, device, date and time. Like now you have actual information about the device, voice to text, all of those different things. What's fixed, they fix stuff. And then the 331 update, which is today's update actually. It's more emoji, additional symbols, voice to text, dialer, keyboard. So again, they're busy at, kind of like making this a little bit better for the everyday user. And that is just certainly appreciated, right? Like, it's something that like, oh yeah, this is awesome, right? Like, so they're continuing to make it better and better for, the different purposes, right? It's still not perfect, of course, but having added these little things of functionality, I think makes a big difference and allows people to kind of like say like, okay, this is the device. It's getting continuous updates. You can see the application manager as you see right here. This is not a super high definition screen. So seeing it through the lens of the camera, it's probably not going to be best, but whenever you're having it and when you see it in real life, it's fine. Like, it's not that big of a deal. But yes, let's see. Okay, cool. So that's the Keyphone. Got some updates for that. These devices have been, kind of like getting a little bit better. I probably make a full, regular update on that, just to showcase kind of like how it works. Here we have a question. We say, let's see, Red Panda, it says, can I buy it in Germany? I don't think so. I don't know if this device will work in Germany. Let me go to see the specs. Let's see, let's go back. For the bands, let's see, B2, B4, 5, 7, 8, 12, 13. These are pretty American bands, pretty much. I think 5 is a European band, if I recall correctly. Let's see, Germany set network bands. 1, 3, yeah, 7, 8. Probably those will work, but even then they're probably limited. I mean, that's super limited. And that was an AI response, so I don't necessarily trust it. 7, 8, but that sounds about right. I know I know 1 and 3 are the big ones on. So I don't think this will be very helpful for you in Germany. But maybe devices like these will come out in Germany, right? So that will be maybe a possibility. As far as the next question was, what do you think about T9 keyboards on such a big screen? Do I think it's justified? Honestly, that's going to be one of the things I'm going to say about this device is that I don't know if we actually needed the keyboard. Like, I understand they put the keyboard aesthetics, look, right? It's kind of like tactile. You have the ability, but at 4 inches, I kind of think that it would have been better to just have the touch panel, and just leave it alone. I think that would have been kind of like my preference, my opinion, is just leave it alone, the touch panel. And yeah, like just use it as is. Don't try to use the on-screen keyboard. I think that would have been better. Let's go to notes right there. Oh, yeah. It's going to check for my account, which I won't be able to add. Let's just go to, I don't know, something here. Give me a second. Okay, cool. So here's the regular keyboard, right? And I think that, you have swipe, and it's a large enough screen that I really don't think that you need the T9. So I'm kind of like, probably not, probably don't need it. That's probably going to be my main critique. But I do appreciate that I have the option, because honestly, as someone who has been using dumb phones for the past 6 years, I've gotten fast again at typing on T9, and I prefer to have the tactility. It's good to have it as a fallback, but I like that you have the voice to text, right? So you have the ability to do voice to text there. It's initializing, so it won't do it right now. But you also have the keyboard, the virtual keyboard, and you have a big enough screen to actually use it. But with this tiny keyboard, it's like, yes, it is very small, but honestly, the keys are very tactile. Like, I really like the travel on the keys. I really enjoyed so far, just like going to like the dialer and inputting like the different things. It has been a nice experience so far with the device. So I think while it is small, I think that it is tactile enough that you will enjoy the T9 experience. So I'll probably just still use it, but I really can't justify it. Honestly, with the 4 inches, I think it would have been better. And this would have been a very interesting competitor against the Blue Fox NX1 or the Jelly Star, because those devices have unfettered access to the internet. So, some people don't want that. So this would have been like a lockdown Android device that has Google Messages, RCS, Android Auto, syncing with your Google Calendar. It has an app store that delivers some extra apps for your perusal. So I think the Mindphone 2 Pro, the materials are actually feels really good in the hand. And yeah, I think that that's definitely something that I personally enjoy, and personally think that it would have been a good competitor in that segment of the market, right? But alas, it is what it is. They put a keyboard, and that's okay. All right. Okay, let's continue. Zenfone has also gotten some updates. I think it's charged. Yes, kind of. But I don't think I have updated. Okay. Yes, I need to do a system update, so I'll continue charging it so that we can see it in a little bit. Let me go to then some updates on the Light Phone. Yes, so the Light Phone had some updates. I made a video about that. Let's go to support, and let's go to updates here. In the meantime, phone updates. No, software versions and changelog. Yes, good. So there were some updates on the Light Phone. Super excited about them, actually. One of them was something that I wanted for a long time, which this was right here, save last used on the transportation mode. Let me bring up the Light Phone. So for the longest time, if you selected the mode of transportation on the Light Phone, right here, it will not persist. So you will select public transit and we'll go back to walking. So you have to go back again and select public transit. But now if you leave it in driving, it's going to stay there. If you leave it in public transit, it's going to stay there, and so on and so forth. That was probably my favorite thing that they updated. There was another one, if I recall correctly, that was actually easy for me to be like, oh yeah, this is like one of a good small thing, is whenever you are in your threads. Let's see right here. Whenever you're in your threads, you can, let's go back. So you can just swipe and delete right there. So you swipe and there's a menu that opens up so that you can delete the text thread, so if it's like a bunch of these codes, you see I've gotten a bunch of codes, like 2FA codes, it's just that, right? Last one is the podcast. So if you go to a podcast, Let's say I choose FI, and then I go back. Now I go back to the podcast screen instead of like the home screen. So perfect right there. I'll be able to have it. There was a bug, however. As you see, I opened a different podcast and it kept the choose FI at the top. So there's a little bug that essentially whenever you go back, it kind of like says, oh, that's CityCast Denver, but it's not. Like this is El Hilo and this is consider before consuming, right? So like you can see that bug, but those were like some small quality of life improvements that I really, really like. And just FYI, I will put a calendar reminder for I'm going to put it out there. The last week of April, most likely, we'll have a live stream with Joe again. It's been a while, a long time since we had Joe on the channel. So we're going to talk about, they're going to talk about this, some announcements and some great stuff coming to the Lightphone. So mark your calendars, around that time, end of April, beginning of May. We're going to have Joe on the channel to chat about the future of the Lightphone and what they have learned, how they're moving forwards, and some really, really cool things that are happening in the Lightphone ecosystem. So really, really exciting to see what they're doing. But I did want to highlight something that I think is going to help the Dumbphone community in general. And that is that there was a research study with the Lightphone. It's called Going Light, the effects of minimal mobile phone adoption on young adults' well-being depend on motivation. So I will put this in the, let me put this in the chat so you can go check it out yourself. It's a good study, good stuff actually. I'm really, really happy about what they're doing with this. And I think what happens is that this, let's see, boom, here it is. Found the link. Let me put it on your feed. Let's go to here, content, live stream, open again, and chat. Boom. There it is. So there's the link. And if you have been curious about a Lightphone, here's a link too for that. It's personally one of my recommendations, so there's also a link for that. So right here, this paper, and actually want to read a little bit of the conclusion area so that you can see it. Let me see. Does it look good? Oh, that's too large. Is that better? Yeah, that is better. A little bit. Can I move it? No. Okay, maybe that. It's still too big. Okay, I think that's good. Okay, sorry. So these people did a research study on Going Light, and I think this helps because a lot of people say that there is no quantifiable data to showcase that, moving away from smartphones is a good thing, right? But this now we have as a research study by, people at Stanford, which is great, also a very reputable source. And this, I think, just helps with showcasing to others like, hey, this is true. Like, it's true. Like, this makes a big difference. And, they kind of go through all of the different designs and, examples of minimal phones, include the designer phones, custom made, yada, yada, yada. They kind of like go into the present study and kind of like what they went into. So this is the hypothesis. So see here some of the hypotheses and results. So Lightphone users will spend less overall time on their phones. Supported. Yay. Awesome. Lightphone users will spend less time on social media. Also supported, right? Lightphone users will report lower dependency. That is great. Supported. Lightphone users will report higher perceived agency and control. I think this one's so important. I'm going to write a full newsletter on this study, and I'm actually inviting the study the study people, the authors, the study people, the authors for a podcast. So hopefully one of them gets back to me. I'm going to try to reach out again, but I would love to break down this with them, because again, they went through all of these things themselves. They went through this. I think it was like a full year study. Like it's a long study, and I think it's very important, right? So they got Lightphone to collaborate with about 125 devices, if I recall correctly. So yeah, and I think this one's really important. I'm going to break it down. So Lightphone users will report higher perceived agency and control. And I think that's really, really good, because this is something that we have lost. I actually wrote a newsletter recently on that topic, how to reclaim yourself, your agency in the surveillance age, or the age of manipulation, and I went through some of these things that kind of like we know in the Dumbphone space that are important. Next thing is Lightphone users will experience higher positive effect. When they talk about positive effect, they talk about, some of these things like you're feeling better, or you have better relationships, or better relationships with others. But that, I mean, I kind of want to know how they actually defined it, and because it says not supported. So, I want to know, how did they go? Lightphone users will experience greater feelings of productivity, not supported. This one's not very surprising to me, because you can replace your Dumbphone time with laptop time, and then, your productivity is not improving, right? So yeah. So again, like it's not super, it's not super surprising to me that they didn't, they didn't have this going on, right? So that's not supported, because maybe people did not use their Lightphone, but maybe they were not more productive as a result, just because, again, like, they switched to other devices, television or tablet or a computer for their kind of like, distractions, right? Let's see. Lightphone users, this is important. Lightphone users will report lower social connectedness, not supported. This means the inverse, that users reported high social connectedness, or just normal social connectedness, meaning that going to a green bubble did not ruin their social lives. And I think that one's massive. I'm going to break this down in a newsletter coming up soon. I hope that the authors get back to me so I can talk with them about it. But I mean, let's be clear here. This is such an important thing to have research to showcase to people, and to skeptics mainly, that there are benefits, right? And that is so important, because we need data to showcase, like, this is not just, your mom's experience, or Jose's experience, or, my friend that decided to do a digital detox experience. Now we have data that quantifies and qualitatively assesses what's important in this market, right? Lightphone users will report lower depression, not supported. Not surprised by this either. Depression is not a matter of a phone. Like, the phone influences a lot of these things, but it's not the sole reason. So I think we really need to be careful to say, like, hey, yes, you may have lower, like, stressors that may lead you to, higher kind of like feelings of, or encounters of depressive episodes, right? But depression is such a complex emotion or state of mind, whichever way you want to call it. It's actually a very interesting mechanism that the brain uses. I will go into, this was in Hidden Brain. Highly recommend Rethinking Depression. It's a podcast that I listened to about 2 weeks ago. There it is. I came 2 weeks ago. I'm going to put it in the chat. Great podcast, just kind of like going through rethinking depression, like rethinking how it works, and what our bodies, or how our bodies get to that state, and why is it important to understand it, right? So very good. I personally enjoyed listening to that podcast. Highly recommend it. Okay, H4B, Lightphone users will report lower stress, partially supported. So maybe some people did, some people didn't. And Lightphone users will report higher life satisfaction, and also partially supported. So, kind of exciting to see, to see how this all works. Then you have the method, right? Like they go over like all of these things, what they use, some math formulas, as always in research studies. You need to have math formulas with standard deviations and, kind of like, what's it called? Like the, not tangent. Darn it, this calculus term. The kind of like the variance, right? Like, so yeah, anyways, there's always some need for graphs and all of these beautiful things. But let's get to the results, right? So minimal phones reduce phone use and social media use. Not surprising here. Minimal phones reduce phone dependency and increase perceived agency. That is also very important here. Then you have minimal phones only improve certain indicators of well-being among motivated users. This is like the affective well-being. This is the, changes in depression, social connection. If you are a highly motivated person to have your life changed and to create a new system for your life, it's going to work. And if you are not, then it's not going to work. And I really think that this is something that I have been saying. Something that I personally found in my own journey, actually, through this, because what happened was, at least, for me, it was like, yeah, my life was not magically solved, and I got all of a sudden so much better. It took a lot of work for me to actually get to having a better life. It wasn't just a magic pill of I switched my smartphone to a dumb phone. Yeah. Okay. Discussion. I wanted to go to the concluding area. Let me see. Here it is. I think it's this one. No. Conclusion. Yes. Our study provides the first rigorous field test of minimal mobile phones' effects on psychological well-being. Minimal phones like the Lightphone 2 effectively reduce time spent on their devices and help people feel a greater sense of agency. Device-level interventions like the Lightphone 2 can help people have healthier relationships with social technologies by reducing distractions by design rather than relying on consistent user self-regulation. However, this study also indicates that this is not a panacea, like we said, for mental health challenges. Switching to minimal phones may not broadly improve psychological well-being for everyone. Instead, we see that individuals' intrinsic motivation to pursue this behavioral change plays an important role in determining whether people obtain psychological benefits from such a disconnection strategy. Efforts to enhance user agency over technology and improve well-being should therefore consider both the design of the intervention and individuals' inherent motivation to change. Again, very good, very important. And again, my takeaway here is device level interventions, meaning dumb phones, right? Like the Lightphone 2, like the Keyphone, like the Mindphone Pro, like the Megalife, like the Sunbeam, Punkt, you name it, right? Mudita, all these devices that have a non-distracting screen that are engineered to not have social media and doom scrolling on the device can help people have healthier relationships with social technologies by reducing distractions by design. And I feel like that's the most important part. Reducing derivatives. Thank you. Oh gosh. Thank you. Thank you for that. I was just thinking, thank you, Tazvu, for that. Okay, so this is the most important part. Dumb phones, device level interventions do help people, and now we have data to actually showcase it. And of course, there's more. There's methodological implications. We have to read through those, and I'm going to have to do a full reading of this study and the discussion, and kind of go through some of these things. But I'm so excited to have finally a device or, research that showcases why this works and how to communicate it to other people as well. So I think it's very, very important. Aguilar says, I saw this study in Shameless Nerd's video yesterday. Nice. I like his videos. He's cool. He breaks it down. It's very simple. Talk to the camera kind of stuff. Let's look him up. He has good stuff. I like him. I know recently has gotten, more kind of interested in this. Shameless Nerd. There it is. He did the Sunbeam F1. That's what it was. You know, I think I commented on his video. And I don't see it. I don't see his thing. If you can link it, that'll be great. Maybe he had a live or something. Maybe. I don't know. Who knows? But yeah, cool. He's a good guy. Maybe he has a second. No, he doesn't have a second music channel. He has a music channel, not a thing. But maybe it's one of these videos. But yeah, you know, he just talks to the camera and has like, you know, some cool things. Oh, here it is. Like, oh, maybe it's this one. Oh my gosh, it's dubbed. That's interesting. So yeah, maybe he went through some of the stuff. He used the Sunbeam, how to use it. I used the Dumbphone for an entire year. Here's what happened. Perfect. You know, and then yeah, go watch this video. He's a cool guy, cool person, you know, and like really, really have enjoyed watching some of his stuff. And yeah, let me put it in the comments. Going light, man. It's such an important thing. All right. Boom. There it is. Cool. All right. Awesome. Yes. So this was one of the biggest news that came across my feed. You know, and I'm so excited about this kind of stuff. And yeah, so light phone, new things, some of new updates. This is charged now, I think. Yes, 35%. That's more than enough for the live stream. Now let's go back to more updates on the Megalife. So this is a revamped Cat S22. I saw a question about that. I'll get to that, you know, very soon. And I also wanted to showcase some of these, like, you know, latest things that they have been putting out. There was a bug that didn't allow. What is that? Oh. Okay. I'm installing the update, so we're going to have to come back to it. But yes, so the Megalife, I'll answer some questions too. I think that's probably a good time right now. 37 minutes. Let's go to the... Cool. Other news. Megalife. I'm just going to put it right there. Cool. So the Megalife got some updates very recently. And yeah, I'm just excited to see this is a Cat S22, is a refreshed Cat S22. And essentially what it does is now it has access to certain applications. It has access to, you know, they make two variants and they're essentially saying like, hey, you know, we want to give you access to certain things like travel, right? So you have Uber, Lyft, Android Auto, you have TT9, you have a music app, you have media, right? So if you want to use some media, you also have some medical apps if you really need some things. So you can kind of like look into what they have available. And of course, all the core models, that's what they have available, but they also have WhatsApp, they have banking apps, they have other communication like Gmail, you know, if you need email for whatever reason, or Google Voice. So yeah, it's very good, you know, that they're doing this. And they also have different markets. They have the US, they have Europe, France, England specific markets, Israel specific markets. And it's kind of cool to see like, hey, you know what, that they are kind of like supporting these devices and giving it new life, because again, they were for a long time, the Cat S22s, they're like now only as the Uniphone S22s. And honestly, these are not well supported. So the original Cat S22s, you can still hack them and, you know, do a lot of things. But the Uniphone, they're not the same, unfortunately. What they also did was that, as you see, these ones are based on Android 11, and the Megalife ones are based on Android 13. Megalife phones. Yes, so this one is Byphone. Let's see. Yes, so this one is there it is, Android 13 right there. So that is important because, again, It used to have no compatibility with, Android 11 was a little bit kind of like older and it didn't do all of the things I needed to do. But now Android 13 does more things like Android Auto and having like, RCS messages, which are important for some people. So that's really good. On top of that, I think they increased the RAM from 2 gigs of RAM to 4 gigs of RAM, which actually helps the device. They fixed the compatibility issues with AT&T and Verizon. So again, they made a lot of different things. And I think, again, it's expensive, but I think it's warranted, right? Like, they earned that price for now. I also talked to one of the founders and they tried to they told me like, we're trying to make it cheaper, but economies of scale, the RAM problems right now, et cetera, right? So yeah. Aguilar says, that was the question. Yeah. If the Zen F1 has Android, is there any way to update a Cat S22 to use the same software? I don't think so. I think there were some structural changes to the changes of the RAM and I don't know if they changed the chipset, but they definitely changed the RAM. So maybe that probably makes it a little harder. However, I do know Cat S22 Lineage OS. Let's see. Yeah, perfect. So there was somebody who did the Cat S22. Going through this tutorial. There is somebody that did like a GSI ROM. Yes, there it is. Here's the one. And I believe that one goes to Android 12, if I recall correctly. So I recommend you take a look at this thread to install the GSI ROM and see if you can bring it closer to the Android 13, but not, maybe not where you want it, but, kind of had to compromise a little bit, I guess. So I'll put it in the chat, XDA forums, the Cat S22 ROM. So if you want, you can peruse that around and see if that's, that's what's best for you. So yeah, cool. Not a lot of big news this month, to be honest, in the world of dumb phones. There is the big news that the side phone did release on Canadian market and also on the some European countries. So if you go to order today and you put your region, there it is, side phone Founders Editions for Canada and Latin America, $299 Canadian, which is a little bit of a discount. You can also get it in the United States and in certain parts of the European Union. I believe, let me see if I put the Netherlands, would it? Yes, let's see, order today. Yeah, there it is, Founders Edition, 219 euros. So they're keeping consistent with the price, giving a little bit of discount for people for this next run, I believe. Yeah. So very good. Super happy to see that they're now coming with more international orders, and this kind of stuff. I just released my 1 month review of the device, and I can tell you it's this one right here, side phone 1 month. And you can hear me out right there, talk about it and whatnot. I'll copy a clean link and put it in the description. Perfect. And honestly, it has been a very good experience, and I'm really, really happy with it. I don't have it here. Give me a second. I'll be back. I don't have it in my desk. It's probably out there. Be right back. Alrighty, we're back. I think I need to charge it a little bit. Sometimes that happens with my work phones. I end up not using them and then they go kind of like without charge for a while. So let's see if that works. But so far I have been using it and it's very good. I actually like a lot of the intentionality. If you go to the user guide, in order to actually add the apps, You have to essentially add them via their app store. So where is it? Getting started, maybe. No, that's not the one. Maybe here. There it is. So whenever you go to the officially supported applications, you can go and scan this QR code, and essentially that gives you in their regular app, that gives you extra abilities to download or update these applications without issues. So I think that's a great ability to say like, hey, you know what? We have these officially supported applications. If you want them in your app library, we'll be able to have them without any issues. And the unsupported applications, it's kind of like a list of things that have worked and have not worked. And you can sideload a lot of things, right? So I think that's kind of like something. Here's untested applications, Capital One, caution, do not sideload these applications on unofficial sources or unofficial app stores. I mean, this is another thing, right? So this is essentially what's kind of like community tested applications. Look at this. Spotify works when sideloaded. Uber works when sideloaded and is officially supported as a progressive web app. Garmin Connect, Shazam, WeChat. I mean, that's awesome, right? It's good to see all of these things that they're kind of building, and it's good to see that they're using the community to kind of collect more feedback onto what works and what doesn't. Let me see. It's not charging yet, so we'll get it. Dylan. Okay, yeah. So, okay, I'll just finish with this. So, if you have been thinking about a side phone, highly recommend it. Very good device. After a month, it's going to continue being my work phone most likely. I really, really like the compactness of the device and how it works. Very nice. I'm going to have to move the SIM to test a few of these things, especially right now that I'm testing the Mindphone. But I think I'm going to go back to a side phone. I really like the small, compact 2.8-inch screen. I can do things that are smart, but not too smart because it has a small screen. So really happy about that. Cool. All right. Questions and answers. 0. Thank you. Yeah, thanks. Thank you. Glad the content has been helpful for you. It's always good to hear feedback that what I'm doing is helping people. All right, let's see. Rollerboy asked a question. Do you think we will get a Chin F21 Pro or similar phone build in the US? Yes, actually, we will. The Kaizen device. Kaizen Technologies. This is this one. Clarity Phone. That's what it's called. Clarity Phone. Kaizen. Yeah, see, Kaizen devices. That's what it was. Yes. So this is the Clarity Phone. It is a funny. This is funny. This is good. This is good right here. Good marketing right here. Wow. Good stuff. To the founder, if you're watching, you did good. This is great. Awesome. This is so good. Anti-matrix movement. Very good. Very, very good. Choose Clarity, right? So you can pre-order now. Oh, wow. Just send me to pre-order. That didn't even give me the specs or anything. So this is a keypad device. As a Helios P35, 4 gigs of RAM. It's very similar to the Chin, and it's going to be available for the US, Canada, Australia, and most of the European Union. You can see the specs, whatever is the thing that you want to do. There was a person who already got one. I'm going to be pre-ordering the device and reviewing it, yada, 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 Kaizen Clarity Phone. If you want to see the thread on Reddit, here it is. Here's how it looks. It has has the screen, and it's very sleek, super nice actually. I really like it. And he kind of goes through like what works, what wasn't, yada yada yada. I was able to video call my friends without issue. Look, I believe this is a great phone. As a test, I was very impressed. I carry with me all the time. I'll eventually pivot to QWERTY as I feel it will be a productivity device where I consider it, but this is really good nonetheless, etc., etc. I've done a YouTube review, so if you want to go watch it, you can go watch it right here. It's about 30 minutes, so again, very good. He went through probably everything on this device, so kind of like go through the Clarity phone, how it works, as you see right there. It seems a little large, but let's see display 3.5, so it's a little larger than the 2.8 or 3-inch device screen that most keypad or touch, kind of like T9 phones have. But hey, we're gonna test it out, right? We're gonna see it. But I think this is what you're looking for, right? It's this or the Dumber Mini. So the Dumber Mini, a great team. This one has the small screen, so if you're looking for something smaller, this one is 2.8. Yes, the regular 2.8. And as you see right here, it can use the different, kind of like applications. If I had to pick one, I had not had the Kaizen myself. However, I trust more right now just because of updates. And you know how I believe in supporting companies that have updates all the time, right? Have updates and they do development and they take the customer feedback as the most important thing. So again, very, very important to me. So I would choose Dumber Mini right now. If you're in Europe, they're going to be, right now they're just only in Europe. They're going to be releasing the US version soon, so stay tuned for that. Then Kaizen devices, if you don't want to wait and you want to pre-order right now for something that will work in the United States, although it will have a larger screen, just saying, just be aware of that, then this is probably good. And I mean, love this. This is very good. This is next level, having the pill right there. So Dylan, you are also saying if the Clarity phone has a browser. I don't think so, but it allows you to sideload. So it doesn't really matter. So while it has no social media, it does have a browser, or the ability to do a browser. I mean, most of these devices that are running Android, unless they lock them down, they'll have the ability to do all of these things. And the review on the person that did it, I see Firefox right there. So I expect that it will have side loading capabilities and you can use it whichever way you want. So there you go. Some drawbacks, some things, and that kind of stuff. All right. More questions. If you have questions, make sure to drop them right now. All right. Let's see. Dylan asks, do you find that most side-loaded apps work on the Mudita Compact? Are there any that don't work? Thanks. Yes, I'm going to give you a resource so that you can check techlore.tech. Henry, he is a great guy for the privacy community. And he has a tool called Plexus. There it is. Plexus is an kind of application compatibility searcher finder on Degoogled devices. So this tells you like what's broken, what's bronze, what's silver, what is gold. And, it helps you understand how it works. If it's Degoogled, a device that runs without any proprietary Google apps or services, this is the Mudita Compact. This is what you were looking for. And then you have Micro G, a device that runs open source replacement of Google Play services. This is not the Mudita Compact. So you'll be looking for Degoogled. So let's just look at simple apps. WhatsApp, for example. Let's do WhatsApp. Okay, WhatsApp has right here 174 ratings, and people have said that it works on gold mode, so the best mode, for Degoogled and also for Micro G. So since we're looking for Degoogled, WhatsApp works. Let's look for another one. Signal does it automatically, right? Right there, gold standard. It works without issues, right? Spotify, people love that stuff. Right there, gold standard, Google free. So that will work. So you can go pretty much and look up any app here. Most apps, I mean, a good amount of apps, I would say. And it will tell you whether it works. If it's gold, you're good to go. If it's bronze, it's going to be like, well, it will work sometimes. It will not work every single time. Let's look for banking apps. This is the other thing that most people are talking to me about all the time. They're like, does it work with the bank? I'm like, I don't know, man. Like, I mean, I think there's so many banks out there that I'm like, I can't test everything, right? Wells Fargo. Let's do Wells Fargo. There it is. Gold. Oh, Wells Fargo works on Degoogled devices. What about Chase? Chase Bank. Ooh, now we're getting into difficult territory. See, it's like silver, right? So it may work, it may not. Capital One. Capital One is bronze. So that is probably going to be struggle bus right here. Is not going to work. So just go into this, thing. And yeah, highly recommend that you, right there, red. So Uber does not work on Degoogled devices, which is true. It does not work on most Degoogled devices. But if you have micro G, it does work as a silver thing. You can use Uber as a progressive web app, though. Anyways, I'm going to drop this. Plexus is a great tool, especially for those of us who are in the kind of like different devices and, like this kind of stuff. This is going to be your resource so that you can use it and kind of like go over like the information and be like, okay, a Dumbphone. Okay, I have a Dumbphone. Does it have Google? No, it doesn't. But I want to run certain apps. Okay, you come here, you search it up, and you use it that way because it's extremely, extremely helpful. It has saved me so many times. I mean, like you have no idea because I'm like, oh, does it work? Okay, let me go check. And I'm like, okay, I'm not even wasting my time with this, 4D Googled phones. Yeah, and if you're looking for more privacy and more things like that, this is very, very important. So, yeah, there you go. There you go. Honestly, just use the web browser to check your banking. I think the only thing that you can do on the web browser is use Zelle. Actually, you can, but it's kind of it's bank dependent. My bank allows it, but I know that my wife's bank, or the bank that she used to have before we got married, doesn't allow it, right? So like it doesn't allow it via. So it's kind of like a per bank situation whether it allows it or not. My site phone decided not to charge today. Maybe it's the cable. Let me find out a different cable. Okay, this will be faster too, having a cable for... And I'll close with showcasing the site phone. If you have any questions, again, just put them right there. And next month, I will aim to have a live stream before we have a conversation with Joe, because the conversation with Joe will be one of the live streams for the month. So I will try my best to do that. Let's see if this is working. Okay, it's charging now. Perfect. Cool. So yes, there you have it. Those are most of the things for today. If you are not subscribed to the newsletter, I will put this article in the newsletter, from the newsletter into the chat so you can check it out. And also see if that's something that you want to receive an email every so often from me. I don't do it every week, but then I go and then I do it like 2 or 3 times in 1 week, I'm kind of like, oh, I have a podcast and a newsletter and like, this other thing that I think you need to look into. Again, it's funny, sometimes it's like nothing is happening and then boom, boom, boom. Okay, this is really important. Like this study, right? Like, this is a proven study that showcases that going light makes a big difference, right? So super, super important. Cool. Those are some of the recommendations so far. There are other projects kind of like that I'm keeping tabs on, like the basic phone here. Kickstarter. This is a Kickstarter project. So looks cool. But I've been keeping up with their other stuff on Discord, and they're looking for manufacturing and scalability, This is all prototypes and kind of like ideas as of right now. So just something to kind of keep in mind that it's not probably happening anytime soon. But if you want to kind of keep up with the project, that's very important, right? So yeah, just some things to think about, and how you're doing some of these things. Yeah. So far, we have some new devices. I still haven't gotten my Zinwa Q25. I'm gonna go check the office PO box. That's where I send everything. I'm gonna go check it out. But I know they're developing a new device with the Q27s, which is actually going to be an actual device. But yeah, it's kind of like this is the shop. They have the full device, kind of like revamped with the motherboard and like all the different things that they have done. I just haven't been able to get it. I think it's just kind of like their platform. They went down. I mean, a lot of things. Yeah, so I'm staying on top of most of these different projects that are happening. But yeah. My side phone does not want to cooperate today. It seems to be either truly dead, or something is not just working with the charger. I will have to owe you the side phone live stream appearance. But yeah, and I need to see if I can retrieve my work messages once this turns on. It's probably just really dead, and it has been dead for a little while. But I'll charge it, and then I'll report back. I don't think it's truly dead or like, something happened. But if it did, I'll report that too. Anyways, thank you for being here today. It was just like a short 1 hour live stream for the month of March. If you have any questions and you're watching this afterwards, make sure to put them in the comments below. I'll be interacting there, getting more information out there for you to make the best decision and, have a great life out there, reconnecting with the world and leaving devices to one side. Anyways, see you guys. Have a good day. Have a good weekend, and enjoy this next April. Spring kind of comes back, and we have hopefully, a lot of new projects and new things to look forward to. Anyways, see ya.